Morning, Brian. My name is Keith Segura. I'm currently an Operator 2 with T&D based out at Foothills. I've been employed with Denver Water since 2007, with the first part being an SOS, and then later transferring to T&D. My prior experience has been traveling across the U.S. doing various types of projects, from golf course construction, vertical construction, heavy civil sector, with the heavy civil sector being the majority of my experience: interstate roads, dams, bridges, mines, mass excavation, as well as surveying. With 13 years of experience in the private sector, you learn to maximize your production and quality of work through great leadership and sharing those experience with those above you as well as those below you. My first memorable experience of lean was with Edward Kramer and Sons. It was in a project meeting, and the carpenters had decided that they needed a rock drill to finish up part of their phase of work, and they were going to get that rock drill shipped in from New York. Now, overnight shipping on something that heavy is pretty expensive, and I said, hey, this is Colorado, we mine here, I can get you guys that rock drill by this afternoon. Project managers gave me a thumbs up, made a couple calls. I had it picked up by that afternoon, and it was in use by midday the next day. The cost of that was significant. An article I read many years ago is the cost of rework is a minimum 3 times the amount. You have 1, your original cost; 2, the rework cost; and 3, the lost time that would have been put forth to the original work. With that being said, I'll thank my kids for letting me borrow some of their Mega Blocks and Play-Doh. Currently, this is kind of how I see Denver Water representative. It's linear, bureaucratic. I think we all know that, but there's some pliability within that does occur. It's not 100%. There's nothing dynamic here. We can't roll, can't move around. Sure, we can grow up, but then we're increasing our bureaucracy. How I kind of look at things as well is we have these departments within Denver Water. They can do certain things, but yet they're still not dynamic. There's no fluidness within those departments. I think if we went with this lean program and empower the employees, I think this is what we're going to get. Customers and employees and management. A lot more fluidness, things are more dynamic, and together they can work well. They can do whatever is necessary to really bring out the betterment of the company for the taxpayer, which is paying our expenses with their private dollars. So there's really not a lot that can't be done with this lean program. I think it's a question of, over time, to maximize what needs to be done within all the departments so that everybody works very well together. I think we've seen a little bit of that right now. I see some of that being on the process committee. What started off as deficiency committee, then to the process committee, and then now where I assist on one of the subgroups of that. That started off with 50 people, and I attended one of the meetings just last week on what is going to entail the lean, and I probably say within the 3 meetings there, I'm going to say there's probably more than 50 people that were there. This is what can happen with us. We can all work together and be fluid, dynamic, and still need to get the job done. A little bit as well on prior experience with lean, even though it was kind of subdued, was that the manager asked a program to tell the manager it was implemented by CHIPS, and you submitted suggestions on what could and would be done. My thoughts on it was pretty early on here when this came about. I submitted 20 questions or suggestions for improvement. Some of those were implemented, but keep in mind, out of 1,100 employees, there was a total of 70 suggestions. So at that point in time, I'm assuming some of those suggestions came from other people who are currently with the Lean program. I would like to hope that. Some of my suggestions were implemented. Perfect one, for example, that I'd seen prior to me doing that was looking over some of the board's purchases. We approved a $150,000 purchase for a conveyor for use in SOS and T&D. I looked up that same conveyor, spec'd it out on a couple auction sites that I frequent, and I found a sale price of right around $90,000, low hours. That was money. That was 60 grand we could have spent if that purchase at auction would have occurred, even if some upgrades and mechanical improvements needed to be done to that. Say we put in 30 grand, well, we're still 30 grand up. Those are just kind of things that I've seen and tried to address since I've been here. I've been joked at a few times, and haha, yeah, that committee, and let me know how that works out for you. Well, I think the shoe's on the other foot. Let us know how this Lean program is going to work out for you, because I really think that once people buy in, they're really going to enjoy it. I'm still not a water board way person, because that's the way the water board does it, and always have. I've taught some guys, operators, some things and made them more efficient. It's nothing that I need to run up the ladder. It's one of those just do it items, and they really enjoy it. Some of the older guys were a little hesitant at first, but they've become more receptive when they realize my background and experience. Brian, I hope I am one of the two candidates, and I'd really like to have the opportunity to do this, and I hope if I'm not selected that next year I can still be in the running. I hope you guys don't close it out in terms of qualifications so that somebody like me can't get in there. I do have college experience. One of my failures, unfortunately, was not completing college, balancing both 500 level classes in management, which was my minor, and law enforcement, which was my major. Kind of was a little bit detrimental. But I do have some of that educational background in the Lean teachings from college, and I really enjoy it, and I'd kind of like to pick up where I left off in college and continue on furthering my education and helping others within Denver Water. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate it.